So this is going to kind of be a review of some basic concepts. This is back in chapter 1, section 3, working on percent. So let's look over a review of a percent type of question. So a stockholder sold her shares and made a profit of $1,338. If that is a profit of 24%, how much were the shares worth when she originally purchased them? In percent problems, a lot of times you'll see this word of. So when we see this word of, it usually will imply location. So for instance, if I say, 50% of, say, 80, we know that's going to be like half of 80 would be 40. So remember, percents can be changed to decimals by moving the decimal 2 places to the left, 0.50. The of can be changed to multiplication, the 80 and the 40. So notice if I use a calculator to do this problem, we don't really need one, but we'll just do it here just for the sake of doing it. But notice that if I do 0.50 times 80, that should give me 40. So some things we need to pick up on our relationships here. Notice that you always take a percent of the whole amount, or that's also called the base amount. And that's always going to give you the portion that you may be getting or you may have to be paying, depending on the question. So if I look at this, there's a basic formula that says if you have a percent or interest rate, if you multiply by the base amount or the original amount, that's going to give you the portion, or this is sometimes called the part, or this is your percentage, if you will. So those are some common words. Most commonly, I use the word part there for that, but some people use the word portion or percentage. So if I look at this problem, I can approach this as a percent problem because I made a profit of 1,338. There's this percent, a profit of is 24% of the whatever I started with. And that's what our question's about is what were the shares worth originally? So really in this question, we don't know what the base amount is. So I know that the percent is just 24%. But we're taking percent of the original amount, which is our unknown, if you will. A lot of times they'll use the letter B for the base amount. And when you do that, that's going to give us our portion, or in this case, our shares, which is actually our profit. That's our shares, our profit, which would be this 1,338. So notice that I can write this as an equation, but I have to change the percent to a decimal, but move the decimal 2 places to the left. So this is 0.24, and then the means multiplication, so I can write this as 0.24b equals then this 1338. And then, if you will, you can use your calculator to do this math here. We don't have to do all this long division math, especially with decimals. So notice that to solve for b, I can divide both sides by 0.24 to make the coefficient equal to a 1. So really, b, the base amount, or the original amount, is going to be whatever this math is over here. Now, keep in mind, the answer should be a lot bigger than 1,338 because you're only getting a part of the original amount. So that's where I'm also paying attention. Does my answer make sense as I do this? So I get 5,575. So 5,575. So 5,575 was our base amount. So the original amount was 5,575, and she got 24% of that. And that gives us the 1,338. And that sounds kind of reasonable. Now, another way to do this, if you want, is you also can use images like these to kind of do it. So if you wanted to, you could draw a circle like this. The portion, the percentage goes in the top. That's going to be the 1338. On the bottom, you have the rate and the base. Well, the rate was this 0.24, and the base we did not know. That was the unknown. But notice that this tells us the relationship between these two values, which will allow us to find the base. So notice how this tells us that since this is on the top and this is bottom, notice how that kind of mirrors this over here. So this kind of becomes a shortcut, if you will, is using this model. And a lot of times in technical classes, they use models as formulas. So this is something that you can also do with percent questions, is instead of writing out equations, you can set them up in terms of models, and the model will tell you what the relationship is. So this tells you that to find the base amount, you have the portion, in this case, the profit, if you divide it by the percent, the rate, it'll actually tell you what the base amount is. So that would be another way to approach the problem, is use this here. Notice how these are all the same, but notice how here you're looking for the part. Here you're looking for the base. So notice how this is the model we're actually using, is this one, because this is the unknown, and these would be the knowns in the problem. So notice how all three of these formulas are basically the same, but the given information is different, and it gives you different relationships. So notice that if you're looking for the part, the portion, you'd be multiplying the rate times the base to give you that portion. And that's kind of what we're doing up here. It's just a straight multiplication problem. The ones that get tricky are the ones that are division. So if you're trying to find the rate, it'd be a division problem. If you're trying to find the base, it's a division problem. But if you're trying to find the part or the portion or the percentage, if you will, that's going to be a multiplication problem. So this is another way you can solve percentage problems, is use a model like this, and then it'll kind of tell you the relationship without actually writing an equation.